Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. I'm here with my slimy little friend and his bug-eyed companion. I finally watched the 1984 classic Ghostbusters and the sequel and the other sequel, Afterlife. I've been meaning to watch these literally for years. I finally got the time and ended up watching them around 1:30 in the morning and got them done by about 6, but I did do all three in a row. And it was good. I grew up with Ghostbusters, but my experience was more the storybook, and then I saw it on TV, and I loved it for the ghosts, and I didn't watch it again until I was an adult. I saw the second film on video back in the day, but it wasn't until probably about 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I bought the DVDs and watched the films, and I was disappointed they weren't how I remembered them as a child. I didn't really get or appreciate the sort of adult Bill Murray sort of humour. I know there's like a little niche of films like Stripes and Blues Brothers and that are in this sort of vein that everyone loves, but I really didn't get them and really didn't like them. So I was very disappointed when I watched them on video. But I wanted to give them another chance, and I wanted to watch Afterlife and watch them in one go, so I sat down and had a little marathon. Now, the film itself was done in '84. It was made on about a $25 million budget. It made $338 million, I think, initially, or $28 million, or 228 or something. And then they re-released it a couple of times because they were about 5 million, made about 5 million less than Beverly Hills Cop. So they managed to just get past that with another 10 or so million. And then with the other territories, it ended up being about 295 million. So with some adjustments up to at least 2000, which was the last estimate I saw, it made about 670 million, which is pretty much the biggest comedy film of the 80s, and it was a huge hit. It was everywhere. The song was number one. It was number one in the cinemas for like 7 weeks, and everyone was into Ghostbusters. And when I was a kid, I loved the Ghostbusters. I loved the ghosts. I watched the cartoon, and that's really what I think of as Ghostbusters, not so much the films. But yeah, aside from Bill Murray, who I can't stand, the films, they were a lot better now than I remember them from before, because I sort of had an expectation of them before from what I remember them being as a kid, which I was just seeing them for the ghosts. And I didn't really appreciate the humour of the films as an adult. But knowing what to expect this time, I actually did enjoy them a lot more. I was able to focus more on the visuals, the aesthetic, the designs of the ghosts, the scenery. I love New York is a character in this film. The city is just the backdrop for the whole film, and it sort of captures New York at a certain time. And it's really, really fun. I forgot how fun it was. Now, it is a little juvenile in some ways. There's a couple of scenes where you're rolling your eyes, particularly the misogynistic Bill Murray scenes where he's harassing Sigourney Weaver and so forth. And she is getting, I don't know what she's stalked more by in this film, ghosts or creepy men. But that's what happens when you're a beautiful woman, apparently. But yeah, I'm surprised I liked it as much as I did. I'm glad, because it was one of those big disappointments of my childhood when I saw it as an adult, and I was like, oh, this is not the film I remember it being. But yeah, I mean, Slimer's cute. The ghosts have this monstrous comic quality, and I think that's part of it. A lot of it is supposed to be funny and supposed to be a joke, but I took it seriously as a child, and I can't really see it as big of a joke it was supposed to be. And also because I've experienced the paranormal, I know it exists, and I know Dan Aykroyd had, so some of it is sort of written seriously, but it's not, so it's kind of weird. But yeah, I can't really think of anything else to say. It's basically three guys get together, three scientists, and they set up their own ghost busting business. They are working out of a firehouse. They have an ambulance for a car. They have these big proton packs and uniforms, and thanks to a spike in paranormal activity, they become very famous and very known in New York, and they sort of save the city from a giant Stay Puft Marshmallow Man and a bunch of ghosts. And it's over the top, but unfortunately the matte paintings really don't hold up in the first film. The design is beautiful, but the detail and the quality is not very good. They got much better in the second film, but it's the thought that counts. It's the trying. They really gave us these great visuals and these really strong images, and they really tried to be this over the top cinematic adventure, and it really does hold up much better than I thought it was going to, and I'm really glad that it does, because I got to enjoy it, and I got to enjoy all the films together, and now I get to be a fan again. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I'm going to talk about Ghostbusters 2 next.